Hey.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome back, Misfits, and welcome back to a new episode. Today, we are going back to the Holiday 411 series.
Yeah.
Yes, we have some info for you. And it's about St. Patrick's Day.
It's about St. Patrick's Day because it's right around the corner. Actually, it's today.
Hey, we're not gonna
say anything else.
We're not.
We're just saying it's today.
We're gonna move on with the episode now.
The world knows.
Exactly. So we hope that you enjoyed this episode. Here we go. So, as many people know, especially people in the United States, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on March 17th, which is today. And it is mostly known as a day to celebrate Irish culture when the Irish immigrants came to America. The holiday actually does have some religious beginnings, and we're definitely going to talk about some of that in today's episode. So, as the name of the holiday implies, it is named after a man named Patrick. Who would have thought?
So interesting.
I know.
Crazy.
That's our first fact. So this quote-unquote Patrick was later considered a saint, which is a common practice of the Catholic Church, as many of you may know.
Yes.
Here are some facts about this man and what led to this particular celebration. So number 1, Patrick was not Irish.
What?
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Just initially, I just want to scrap the whole thing.
It's like, we thought you were an Irishman.
Yes.
And you're not?
Yeah. How did we get
I
here?
feel duped my
Exactly,
whole life.
exactly. I never participated in this. Maybe in high school, maybe I wore a green shirt
Yeah, I
or
was going to
something.
say, there might have been
But yeah,
a few
I
times
feel
where
duped
I
by
was like,
Patrick.
I'll wear green. but-
Exactly. And all of Ireland, I feel duped.
But I don't remember like going parades or things like that.
No, beer or what is it, pub crawls and all this other
Yeah,
stuff that
yeah.
people do. No, I never did any of that. But anyway, he wasn't Irish, and we're shocked.
Yeah.
I'm just
Please
shocked.
tell us
shocked
if you're
and awe.
shocked too.
Yeah.
Because we were today years old.
Please, like, put the little emoji with like the raised hand thing
Yeah.
if you were shocked.
Or like the mind blow thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So Patrick was actually born in Britain, not Ireland. He was born to wealthy parents near the end of the 4th century. He is believed to have died on March 17th, around 460 AD, hence why the celebration is on March 17th. So it celebrates his death or his life,
Yeah.
right? So although his father was a Christian deacon, there is no evidence that Patrick did or did not come from a particularly religious family. At 16 years old, Patrick was taken prisoner by a group of Irish raiders who were attacking his family's estate. They sent him to Ireland and he spent 6 years in captivity. So he had a family had money, they take him, they kidnap him, probably for ransom or something.
Yeah.
And then they send him to Ireland, which is how Patrick ends up in Ireland,
Yeah.
right? So now we're making some connections.
That's his, arrival.
Exactly. So during his time in Ireland, he worked as a shepherd. Lonely, and I'm sure he was afraid, he turned to his religion for solace and became a devout Christian. So through his struggle, he becomes a Christian.
Right.
The story's looking up. After the 6 years in captivity, Patrick escaped. According to his writing, a voice, which he believed to be God's, spoke to him in a dream, telling him that it was time to leave Ireland. Patrick walked nearly 200 miles from County Mayo, where it is believed that he was held, to the Irish coast. After escaping to Britain, Patrick reported that he experienced a second revelation. An angel in a dream tells him to return to Ireland as a missionary.
Right.
So he thinks he hears the voice of God. He then sees an angel in a dream, and he's getting all of this information. So once he's back in Britain, right, he's escaped, he's back in Britain. You know, he actually heeds this dream from the angel, and he's like, okay, cool, I'm going to do that. So he's
prepare.
Yeah, exactly. So he starts studying. So for a period of about 15 years, he studies and then was later ordained as a priest. So once he was ordained, he was sent to Ireland to minister to Christians already living in Ireland and to begin to convert the Irish.
Right. So, of course, we're not saying that there weren't any Christians in Ireland, but at the time, the main reason he was sent was because a lot of the population there practiced like nature-based paganism. Religion. Yeah.
Right.
So, even though there were some Christians, most people were not.
Yeah.
And they were pagan.
Right.
So, Patrick, good old Patrick,
Patrick.
instead of teaching the Christian faith completely because he had prepared and he had studied and everything, he decided, which we all know where that leads us, right? When we decide to do things.
Yes.
He decides to incorporate the Irish culture and this paganism into his Christian lessons.
Yes.
Right? He's like, I'll just merge these together.
Yes, because it'll help them when I convert them.
Oh, no,
This
Patrick.
is a good idea. It seems that Patrick went on this mission alone and didn't have anyone to talk to.
Even though he heard from
and
God.
asked them if it was a good idea.
He left them wherever he heard him and
Yes.
was like, I'm doing my own.
Yes.
So no, Patrick chose to incorporate these things, these traditional rituals, into his lessons of Christianity instead of, trying to eliminate those kind of practices and beliefs.
Yes.
He's like, I'm just going to include them. So, for example, he used bonfires to celebrate Easter, since the Irish were used to honoring their gods with fire.
Right.
So he incorporated that.
Mm-hmm.
He also superimposed a sun, which is a very powerful Irish symbol, onto the Christian cross, which is what we know as a Celtic cross now. And so that version of the symbol just seemed a little more natural for the Irish.
Yeah, it was more familiar.
I guess for them to buy it, to accept it. So he felt like merging these things together.
Yeah.
To kind of get his point across.
Sounds very much like the Catholic Church from what we've done,
from
what we've learned in the Holiday 401 series.
So yeah, he was obviously trying to make the Irish like real comfortable, like making them feel like, hey, you can be Christian but still keep a lot of this stuff, right? And to me, this reminds me a lot of like when the Israelites were reaching the promised land, right? And they were told like, hey, you're going to take over the land of Canaan. And God said, you're going to take over. Like, you're going to rule. You need to get rid of anyone who does not believe
still
like
lives in
you,
the land.
still lives there,
Exactly.
because they were also pagan. And some of the people didn't want to.
No.
And they were like, you know what? I'm not going to kill you.
Yeah. I'm going to make you work for me.
Yeah. Like, you can work for me.
Yeah.
And then that didn't
Or
end
I
well.
was afraid of you and they just left him alone.
Or like, hey, you can have that
There
side
was
of town
options.
and I'm gonna be on this side of town.
Yeah. Shake on it? Okay.
Yeah. Like, you don't mess with my stuff, I don't mess with your stuff. And we know that didn't work out well for them either.
No.
This wasn't looking very good for good old Patty here or Ireland. So how did we get to the holiday? As many of you know, the Irish have a lot of like oral legends.
Yes.
And myths and all of that. So because of that, this story of Patrick actually became very exaggerated, right? So we know these things, like his origins, but it became a lot bigger than what it really was.
It got real loose towards the end, and now we don't really know what's happening.
A lot of additions, a lot of exaggerations, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So a very interesting fact is that although the Catholic Church has a practice of canonizing people to sainthood, that just means like the process of getting them to be a saint, right?
Right.
Patrick actually did not get canonized. It is believed that it was mostly due to his popularity that people just proclaimed him to be a saint.
Yes. So here we are. Patrick, who is not Irish, is from Britain, and now he's not even a real saint.
Not actually.
I'm like, what's up with the lies?
We just liked him so much that we're like, let's just say he is.
Oh my gosh.
Do we really need to go through the process? Like, well,
I don't want to do
according
the
to your
paperwork.
tradition, you do. I don't think it's necessary. We'll just call him.
It's like when you have older cousins and you call them uncle.
Yeah.
It's like that.
He's not really your uncle. Well, I know, but he's like 10 years older
he's like
than
my
you.
third cousin. I don't know.
And we grew up like we're siblings.
Yeah.
So it's your uncle. That's not how it works, Mom. But thanks. So anyway, so this holiday essentially is celebrating the death of this man, Patrick, who is not a saint, but is called a saint.
Yep.
And although it did begin with, kind of his celebration of his life, people would go to church and honor him for that, right? Like honoring his life. It somehow expanded now into just celebration of the Irish culture with parades, foods, music, dancing. A lot of this did happen because of the migration of the Irish to America. So they kind of left behind a lot of that, church base.
Right.
And just decided, like, we just want to party. So it's kind of how that transitioned now to be more of a secular kind of thing. So why the color green, though? I'm sure you're asking yourself
Yes,
this.
we all need answers.
If when you think St. Patrick's,
you
or you go to a store
green.
or anything, you're like, green. Green. There are several possibilities, and we found a few here.
Yes.
4, actually. One of the reasons people wear green on St. Patrick's Day is because of Ireland's nickname, the Emerald Isle.
Right.
So
checks out.
Emerald
or green. Yes.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, yes.
2, traditionally the green represents the Catholics of Ireland. So apparently there's different colors that represent different religion or religious affiliations.
Yes.
So the Irish ones were green.
Yeah, like different. I think when we were researching it was like different political parties and different religions like associated with like different colors or something. So
right. So
they were green.
They were
guess.
green.
Right.
Who knew?
Yes.
3, St. Patrick is thought to have used green shamrocks to teach people about the Trinity, right? God the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't know what a shamrock looks like, it's that kind of 4-leaf clover looking thing, but it only has 3 little bumps.
Yeah, it's
leaves
3.
or whatever.
And then the fourth thing is leprechauns are usually depicted wearing green.
And that is a thing also.
And we're not going to go into leprechauns because it's a whole other thing.
Yes.
And it somehow got swooped into this holiday, but we just didn't feel like that needed to be explored.
No.
Because we were trying to look at it in more of like the origins of
Right,
it.
right. But it's very interesting as to
interesting.
why
Very
potential
interesting.
reasons that this green color is a thing. And like you said, like it's become, it was this traditional thing of like celebrating this quote unquote saint person. But now it's just a secular holiday where people just like drink and party and wear green. And if you don't wear green, they pinch you and all this other strange things that I don't understand. But
exactly.
yeah, that's the holiday.
That's the holiday.
I'm sure you're as confused as we are.
Yeah. But if you're ever wondering, like, why do we celebrate this holiday, or just we as in the general America people in the world?
Right. Because it's technically an Irish holiday, but it was like the Irish Americans when they immigrated to I was going to say Puerto Rico. No, I'm from Puerto Rico. They are not. The
There
United
might be
States.
some Irish there, but that's not why we call it.
America. But yes.
But yeah, when they migrated here. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's very
if you're curious how it all started,
Now you know.
now you know. Now you know who Patrick is. He really wasn't a saint.
Yeah.
And he really wasn't Irish, which
Yeah.
are the two most surprising things
Yes.
of this holiday.
Exactly.
Like,
we could have
researching
left
this
it at
person.
that, and I think everyone listening is shocked right now. But anyway, we just wanted to share because we thought it was interesting, and the holiday is today, so we wanted to talk about it. And also, you have some weird trivia now that you can just pull out at any party and shock other people.
Yes.
Yes.
So
and if they don't believe you, send them the episode.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But all right, we hope that you enjoyed this episode, and have a good Friday. That's what we're gonna call it.
Amazing Friday, amazing weekend.
Yes,
amazing
have a great
everything.
weekend. Be safe.
Wear
And
green if you want because that's your favorite color,
yes,
not because of anything else.
exactly. Anyway, this is Fran.
This is Yadi.
We are the Midtown Misfits, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.